Oh, hey YouTubers, this is your boy once again, RKO2582, here to talk about, still to this day, the most darkest moment in wrestling's history. Yep, you know what I'm about to talk about. The Benoit tragedy, 4 years later. Yeah, as you know, today is June 24th, and which was the exact day that Benoit, his wife, and his son were gone and found dead in here in my home of Atlanta, in their home up in Fayetteville. Yeah, and I just wanted you know to take some time out today and wanted to look back on my favorite moments of Benoit's career before that tragic day. One of them was when he, of course, arrived in WWE when he was part of the whole Radicals thing, when he was with Guerrero, Saturn, and of course Dean Malenko. Yeah, they took the WWE by storm at the time. Yeah, and of course I enjoyed. I recently watched this match like months ago on YouTube when I saw him face Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 2000 for both the Intercontinental and European titles. And Chris Benoit won the Intercontinental title, and of course Chris Jericho won the European title. And Angle wasn't even in the match, so it was like Benoit and Jericho faced each other. And of course, I liked his little mini rivalry with Chris Jericho, and they had like a Intercontinental title ladder match, which I did watch, and it was pretty good. And of course, the one thing I remember back in 2001 with Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho beating the two-man power trip. You know who I'm talking about, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, at the time when I hated them so much for like joining up with Mr. McMahon and stuff, but and then it was at the time when Triple H got hurt and they took advantage, and Chris Benoit and Jericho were your new World Tag Team Champions at the time, and I marked out for that win so bad, and they were not, and of course they had a match after just winning. They were in TLC 3, yeah, when they faced the Hardys, the Dudleys, and the ENC Edge and Christian. That match was just, oh my god, that match was like all over the fucking place. And it was just crazy, and surprisingly, Benoit and Jericho survived to prove that they are for real. Yeah, something Benoit used to say. I don't remember that, and of course, 2002 when Raw and SmackDown became separate brands, and of course, yeah, at the time when Stephanie was the GM and she wanted to start up the tag team division, which she did on a good high note. And of course, they had like that epic tag team tournament, and it came at No Mercy. It came down between Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle against Edge and Rey Mysterio, both good teams. And by the end of the night, it was Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit were the first ever crowned WWE Tag Team Champions, Blue Brand first. And they faced each other again, but this time it was under 2 out of 3 falls. And I remember that match like it was yesterday. It was a good, epic tag team match. Back when tag teams meant something, back when it was still a good division. And of course, Edge and Mysterio won, and they became the new tag team champions, only to lose them 2 weeks leading into Survivor Series, which sucks, but oh yeah. And I enjoyed in 2003 Cubs, when Kurt Angle faces Chris Benoit for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble. They say that was one of the greatest technical matches that the fans have ever seen, and that match pretty much made up for the other world title match, which a lot of people still to this day one of the worst, championship matches they've ever seen with Triple H and Scott Steiner, and which I totally agree after watching that Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle matchup. It was a good ass match, and yeah, Chris Benoit was, yeah, he was pretty much a restless wrestler. You know what I'm saying? And of course, 2004, which in my opinion was pretty much the year of Benoit for real. And of course, at the Royal Rumble, which sadly WWE will never show again. I know Chris Benoit was the first entry in the Royal Rumble, and he stuck it out for like over an hour. And the last person he eliminated was Big Show, and it was an epic moment, which I will never forget. I don't care if WWE never shows this again, but I have it all up here. And he shocked the world, and I was marking out big time. And then the question was, which title was he gonna go for? Was he gonna go for the WWE title on SmackDown at the time, or the World Heavyweight title on Raw? Um, and Chris Benoit finally made his decision. He jumped ship to Raw to challenge Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. And at the time, and then Michaels wanted to get into the fray too. And then for the first time in WrestleMania history at the time was the main event for the big title match was under triple threat rules. And still one of the days the greatest triple matches ever. And a good rivalry too. Yeah, Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it was a good ass match. And I marked out big time when he made Triple H tap out to the crossface, and it was a good moment. And then he had that epic celebration, and I like when him and Eddie were standing tall together as champions. That was a moment I will never forget, a moment in time. And sad those two are gone now. So and I hate that WWE will never show that epic clip again. And then he had good main event matches and all that stuff. And even later on in the year when him and Edge won the tag team titles, yeah, around when Stu Hart passed away and they won it for him, that was a good epic win. And I was amazed that Benoit even won the World Tag Team titles against La Resistance back when Edge was starting to become a heel, and blaming the fans saying, I'm 7% and all this stuff. And then, yeah, but Chris Benoit won the tag team titles by himself. That's crazy. Yeah, it showed Benoit was a beast, and his epic match between him and, at the time, legend killer Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship at Chris Benoit's home country of Edmonton, Alberta at SummerSlam. And he when they put on Clinton, I was surprised that Randy Orton actually beat Chris Benoit by himself, no evolution, and I was just wow. And then and then of course 2005 comes, and then he gets drafted back to SmackDown, and then he won the U.S. title over Orlando Jordan, and he beat him in a couple of seconds, which I still watch that match over and over again just because how funny it was that he beat Orlando Jordan in a couple of seconds. And then, of course, as good as Chris Benoit was a wrestler, I mean, I think his mic skills were kind of a little overrated. The whole that him beating Orlando Jordan every few seconds like better than the last time he beat him. He actually showed a good sense of humor too. I'm dead serious. He was pretty funny, and I can do one of them. I like when he said, like, Josh, after last week when I was triumphant over the coffee cup, and he's just like, now I'm gonna try and go to the bathroom. And he's like, are you ready, Josh? And had to stop watching it. He pretty much beat his own time again, like he did SummerSlam in the bathroom. He's like, I win again. And he's just like, reset that clock, Josh. I will officially beat Orlando Jordan again. And he did just that. He beat him 3 times in a row, faster each time. It was funny as hell, and I enjoyed every freaking second of it. Like I said, it proved Benoit had a sense of humor under his tough demeanor. And then, of course, 2006 came, that epic feud between him and Booker T. They renewed their best of 5 series, but in WCW they had the best of 7 series, but this time they had a best of 5 series. So it's like a rivalry renewed from WCW, and it was good too. And then yeah, and Chris Benoit won it all at No Way Out, and I watched that No Way Out too back in 2006. It was a good No Way Out. Other than at the time when I was pissed Mysterio lost against Orton, him losing his WrestleMania opportunity, but it didn't matter because Mysterio got the shine anyway. And yeah, and Chris Benoit got to headline WrestleMania 22 against JBL for the U.S. title, and then it was a good match. And I hate the fact JBL beat him by cheating and stuff, and and all that stuff. And then of course 2007, he gets the headline WrestleMania again as U.S. champion, but this time it was against a boy who I was actually starting to like, and he was the first ever heel I ever enjoyed. Was, yep, you know who it is, Mr. 305 himself. Yeah, Montavious Porter, MVP, ballin'. Yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it. And yeah, and that match he had with him and Benoit at WrestleMania 23 proved to me that MVP can hang with the big boys. You know, and I thought at one point I thought he was gonna beat Benoit, and I personally thought he should have beat Benoit at WrestleMania, but that it was like a blessing in disguise that it didn't happen because that way we went and saw those epic trilogy matches they had. And then they had one here at Backlash 2007, which was here in the ATL, of course, in the Phillips Arena. I wished I was at that show, but you know I was watching it at where else Barnacles before it shut down in late 2008, and then hence now my new home to watch WWE pay-per-views is at Hooters, and yeah, and those. Yeah, I think Benoit made MVP, and MVP actually won me over, of course. And then, yeah, Backlash was just as good as WrestleMania. And then here was the main reason I liked MVP. I mean, I marked out big time when MVP beat Benoit at Judgment Day, and of course, yeah, beat him two straight falls out of two three falls match, which was amazing. I was like, oh my god, he actually dominated Benoit, and I couldn't believe it. And I was and you know I was always gonna like Benoit, but I just really want MVP to win so bad because he was this close every time they would face each other. It's like MVP always got better every time him and Benoit, you know, had their matches, and you know, I enjoyed that rivalry they had, and you know afterwards, you know, then here comes Vengeance 2007 Night Champions, the match we've all wanted to see: Chris Benoit against CM Punk for the ECW title. And then of course, you know, the family emergency thing, and then Chris Chris Benoit sadly, you know, died, and his his wife and son and yeah left dead in their home in Atlanta here. And then when I watched the news and stuff, at first me and my dad thought, you know, someone killed him, and then once we got the real story about, you know, it was Chris Benoit being the mastermind, the whole thing, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, I just blame that if his head wasn't messed up and you know all that stuff, then he probably wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, I'm kind of still somewhat shady about it. You know, I know I'm always gonna like Benoit the wrestler. I always want to remember him as that epic, greatest technical wrestler and the most respected wrestler of all time. And but the person Benoit, you know, it's just sad. You know how people are gonna remember him now for being a murderer, and it's just sad. You know, but anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Chris Benoit. You know, since it's the 4th year anniversary of his sad tragedy. Anyways, this is your boy once again, RKO 2582, signing off.